everyone. Welcome into Post-Show Headlines. I'm Andrew Salciunas with Connor Thomas, who made a call to the bullpen. John said he needed 10 minutes. It's been like 20 minutes, and I'm tired of waiting. It is, at this current time, 11:30 in the morning. I would like to be home by now. So, Connor, welcome in. Thanks for joining us. Post-Show Headlines, 5 topics, 2 minutes each, and then we get the hell out of here. All right, number one, obviously the biggest talking point, not just in Philadelphia, but in sports right now, is the Tush push. And we talked about it for 4 hours today. We talked about it for 4 hours yesterday. I can't believe that it's actually heading toward the direction of it being banned. What is the number one reason that anybody that's voting for the Tush push to be banned that you hate?
That I hate.
To me, it's the hypocrisy.
Yeah, it's
right?
the injuries thing, right?
Yeah,
it's gotta be.
And it's when Sean McDermott is the guy that's pushing it the most, saying that he's worried about the injury concerns and there's risk to injury, and yet he'll be the one that will run it in week 1 as well as the Philadelphia Eagles. So to me, whenever you come to a debate and you're just a straight up hypocrite, I have to tune you out. Unfortunately, they will have a vote and they'll vote for it to be banned. But that's my number one thing that I hate the most, is the hypocrisy when it comes to this.
Yeah, mine's not so much that, because I think people are hypocritical all the time, and that's just one of those things in life that you have to deal with. But when you use data that doesn't exist, when you flat out lie to people and say, well, I'm worried about injuries, I'm worried about, like, the numbers are not there. So when you're trying to create something out of thin air, that bothers me even more than people going back against actions. People say one thing and do another all the time.
Yeah.
But if there's definitive facts that go in the face of the facts that they're trying to give us, that bothers me.
I just hate how he literally, at one point, Sean McDermott said, the posture that the players are in when you run the play. And then he runs the play. They ran the play last year the second most times in the NFL.
Yeah.
And they're going to run it this year if it's not banned. So that's something that I just don't get. All right, we are 4 games into the Phillies season. Mr. Locked On Phillies podcast over here. Give me a couple of things that you've liked and you have not liked so far through the first 4 games. I know it's very early on. We've only completed 1 series. Game 2 with the Rockies is today. But what are some of the things from spring training that you were expecting to see, that you've liked, that you have not liked so far?
So something sneaky good so far for the Phillies is not getting enough credit, because we focus on the offense so much more.
No, of course. Yeah, of course.
The bullpen has been really good to start.
Yeah.
They had a little bit of a rough day 1 in Washington, and it was really just Jordan Romano. Everybody else was good. Romano looked good in the 9th against Colorado, even though it was a low-pressure spot. Bullpen's been awesome. If they pitch like this all year with the starting pitching you knew you were getting, it's going to be a really tough team to beat. What I don't like not getting to the starters. I don't know how worried you are about that.
Yeah.
If you do that against teams with good bullpens, not the Nationals, not the Rockies, you're in a lot of trouble. It's only 4 games, but I would like to see them go out and face Kyle Freeland today and maybe score a run or 2 off of starting pitching. How great would that be?
I'm not Mr. Excuse Maker for the Phillies. You know that. But I guess if there are excuses through the first 4 games for not getting to the starters, and I know there's going to be people rolling their eyes watching this or listening to this, the shadows in game 1, which they talked about, that it was a legitimate issue for them. And by the way, Mackenzie Gore is a good pitcher. And then Trey Turner and Real Muto were both out game 3.
Right.
And it was another lefty. You're still trying the Brandon Marsh experiment. I don't think it's going to really go all that well against left-handed pitching. He's done well against the righties already this season. I'll give him that credit. But he's ultimately a platoon player. So they're trying new things. They're dealing with injuries. They dealt with shadows. They dealt with shadows against Marquez on the home opener. So I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but maybe that's part of it. The base running things bother me already. Schwarber, you're not fast. And Bryce Harper, sometimes you're dumb on the base paths. Like, you're a great baseball player. I saw yesterday Bobby Witt Jr. stretch a single into a double. The center fielder was fielding the ball, glove side was on his left hand, and he was fielding it still going toward the outfield fence.
Yeah.
So he was able to bust his ass to second base. Whereas the moment the other day in the home opener, the right fielder was coming in towards second base. Like, that's dumb. That's stupidity. Don't give me, I love his aggressive nature, because in the same breath people will say he shouldn't bust his ass down the first baseline because he's conserving his body. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it just feels like a minor part of the game for me for the Phillies. I know base running is bugaboo for you and John, but for me,
well, when you're not hitting the ball,
like the only game game, regular season, postseason, that I can remember base running like that cost them was the Harper play against Atlanta.
Yeah.
And that's a big spot.
But when you're not hitting in a game, and so far they've struggled, and that happens a lot early on in the season, unless you're the New York Yankees. Like, you struggle to hit a little bit, so you need to try to find ways to score runs. All right. We have some nice access with what we do for a living, right? Who is your favorite person in sports that you like to talk sports with?
Oh,
and it doesn't have to be interviews or debates, like just straight up talking sports with this person.
This is the easiest answer, and it shouldn't be. It should be a difficult question, but the fact that I've gotten a chance to talk to Charlie Mann,
I knew that was going to be your answer.
It had to be. He's awesome. I got to ask him questions about the player he had the most trouble with, the best hitter he's ever coached. Things like that from a guy who just knows hitting inside and out is awesome. I asked him one time, why do pitchers always get told to get the guys to hit the ball on the ground, but hitters are always told to hit the ball on the ground? And we had a long conversation about that paradox of baseball.
It's a great conversation.
He's a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, I like Larry is another guy that I would give, Larry Boa. Yeah. I feel like baseball is the best just sit down and talk about the game. Like, because basketball, a lot of it is you have to show footage.
Right.
Like, when you're talking basketball, if you're watching a game, I think basketball is my favorite sport to sit down with my buddies and talk about the game as we're watching. Football is football, right? But baseball, like, I can go to a bar with no TV screens, no knowledge of what happened the day before in the game, and you can talk baseball for like 2 hours. And I know that it is, and I know that we're baseball guys, but I mean, think about it for a second. Like, you don't have to watch the game of baseball to be able to talk about trying to stretch singles into doubles, right? Like, if you're watching basketball, you have to point out whether the defensive alignment was right for that shot or not.
Like, that's a flare screen. Here's the tape.
Exactly. So you need a little bit more footage when it comes to that. All right, speaking of the bar, what is your favorite sport to watch different places? All right, so home, bar, at the actual event.
Okay. At the actual event, I'm going to go with, it's funny, hockey.
No, hockey's the best in arena sport.
Yeah, I love actually being able to see it it's a different sport in person than it is on TV. At the bar, I would probably go with baseball. Because you can zone out the most, right? If you're getting a drink, you're not missing stuff. If you're talking to someone, you're not missing stuff. It's the most passive watching experience. At home, it's Eagles games because I say a lot of words that I would not like to scream in public at the TV. A lot of 4-letter words come out of my mouth.
See, that's for you for trying to be a decent human being. For me, like, I know I went to the Eagles game this year with my dad, right? Yeah. And I know that I've done watch parties and all that kind of stuff. It helps that we get paid to do some of those things, right? Like that, hey, it's our job, right? I don't want to miss things. And I feel like when I'm at the Panthers game, right? And remember the last play, Leggett dropped the ball?
Yeah.
I had no idea what the hell happened.
Right.
I just saw the Panthers walking off the field, and I'm like, wait, did they call a timeout? Did he catch him? They call it, like, what's going on here? And then you see the replay on the big screen that he dropped it. Whereas when you're watching on TV, you don't miss anything. No. Like, it's hard to miss something in football when you're watching it at home, which is why when we do the pregame show, I don't like listening to the game on the radio on the way home. Like, I want to be able to get home, watch from the very beginning, and get all the information that my own eyes tell me. I
totally agree with you there. Listen, going to games, they're a fun social experience, but I don't think they're all that cracked up to be if you're watching an actual game.
No, hockey's the best one in person, though. All right, last thing. So, again, I called to the bullpen. So I had a question where I was going to ask John something that all homeowners should know. So our friends at Moyer Indoor Outdoor were supposed to come out today. They're going to be coming out next week now. The reason why they're coming out next week is they're going to aerate my lawn, but they need to make sure that they don't hit any of the sprinklers.
Are they bringing the Bill Colarulo aerating shoes? Did you hear that?
No.
Where his father-in-law got him the shoes, you can walk around the yard and aerate it?
That's genius, but no, they're not doing that. But that's an amazing thing to know about. I did not know that, like, that's something you have to do, right? I'm a first-time homeowner. I've had it for 3 years, but this is my first time I'm doing, like, lawn care like this. But because you're not John, you're not a homeowner.
Hey, I know homes. You want to ask me about homes?
No, I need you to think. What do you think the daily life is for somebody that's married with kid at a home? Like, what do you think it is?
sad a lot. I think there's a lot of times where you zone out and look into space and think about being a single 30-year-old that can go to the bar whenever he wants. No, I think, honestly, I think you probably have faster days. I think you delete a lot of time when you have responsibilities. I just I sit on the couch.
Is how you don't have a
I don't know, man. You're asking me a world that I don't exist in, but I imagine there's always somewhere you got to be.
All right, it's around 7 o'clock every night where I start doing the.
Is it bedtime yet?
When's this bath time start? And then you zone out a little bit. You're doing this, and it's been 3 minutes. So no, sometimes it's a lot slower. Now the day goes by faster, like. We're outside, especially now that the weather's nice. Yeah. So when I pick him up at like 3, if he's at daycare, 3 to 5 flies by because we're outside. We're constantly doing something. But like when you're done, and unfortunately doing mornings now, like I'm done at like 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
he's still awake.
Throw on Blue and he's still the kid a nap.
No, it's go to bed. But go to bed is mommy, daddy. I need you in here for when I fall asleep. There's no all right, kid, go to sleep. Close the door.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and then you're just kind of going, all right, when is he going to go to sleep? When is he going to go to sleep? So, see, this is how I know that you're a single man living in the city. That's a beautiful thing for you.
I don't hate it.
All right. That's post-show headlines. I still don't know where John is. He didn't even walk down here. So, he might still be on this call that was supposed to take 10 minutes. It's been at least 35. And this is why Connor did post-show headlines, and I appreciate it. Everybody like, subscribe, everything going on our YouTube feed. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Maybe John will do it tomorrow. We'll find out. Talk to you later. Hey guys, Andrew Salciunas from Kincade and Salciunas. Thank you for checking out all of our stuff on YouTube. Make sure you click, like, subscribe on everything that you see. And of course, you can see everything from our YouTube feed. Full shows, interviews, when John's being an idiot, which is like 15 times a day. So make sure you check out all of our stuff on YouTube. We appreciate it.